I am going to show you a fatty liver fix so fast it will make your head spin. Within 6 days, less than a week, you can drop 31% of the fat from your liver. And no, you do not need to get an MRI at the hospital. You do not need an ultrasound. There are simple things you can do right now to know if you have a fatty liver. If you have belly fat, that is called visceral fat. That is fat that has spilled over from a liver that has filled up. When most people go to the doctor with fatty liver, they are told to just lose weight. That is not the best advice. A fatty liver is not a fat problem. It is a liver problem, and you have to know what specifically to do to remove fat from the liver. The good news is that out of all the parts of your body that store fat, the liver sheds it the fastest. So let us get into it right now. Welcome to Health Mile. If this is helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We bring you practical science-backed health guides every single week. And tell us in the comments, which city are you watching this from today? You do not get a fatty liver from eating fat. You get it from eating a very specific type of sugar called fructose. The unique thing about fructose is that it can only be metabolized by your liver. Glucose, on the other hand, can be broken down and used by every cell in your body. So when you consume fructose, your liver is the only organ that can deal with it. And if you are consuming a lot of it, it does not just fill the liver with fat, it actually damages the liver itself. Fructose gets converted to fat in the liver, creates damage and inflammation, and that is what eventually leads to scar tissue. For 40 years, we were taught to avoid fat and red meat and told we could eat more carbohydrates, juice, pasta, cereals, crackers, biscuits. That was all part of the food pyramid in the 90s. It was very bad advice because that is exactly what caused non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It is coming from the carbohydrates, not the fat. A study published by PNAS took people with fatty liver and put them on a very specific diet for just 6 days. They measured the livers with an MRI before and after. Less than a week later, liver fat had dropped on average by 31%. You do not need to go get an MRI right now. By the end of this video, you will know what to do, what to eat, and what to avoid. Now, here are 3 simple ways to tell if you may have fat in your liver. First, belly fat. If your belly is protruding outward, that is a key sign. Second, the back of your neck. Look in the mirror. If the skin on the back of your neck appears darker, feels velvety, or looks thick, that is a signal. The same goes for darkened skin in the groin or armpits with that same velvety texture. Third, skin tags. All 3 of these signs indicate high insulin levels, and if you have high insulin, you are going to have a fatty liver. Here is why. High insulin causes massive fat storage, especially in the liver. When the liver gets damaged from refined carbohydrates, you develop insulin resistance. The pancreas then has no off switch and floods the body with so much insulin that the excess just keeps dumping fat into the liver. Think of it like a fish tank. Pollute the water and the fish gets sick. You can feed them the best food and treat every symptom, but if the water stays toxic, nothing recovers. The body runs on signals: insulin, cortisol, inflammation, sleep quality, gut function. There is always one signal that is more broken than the rest, and until you fix that one, everything else stays stuck. Now, here's something I want you to do right now or at the end of this video. Take a tape measure and measure around your waist at the level of your belly button. Write that number down. 2 days later, measure again. At 48 hours, you should see at least ½ an inch of shrinkage. At 6 days, it should be at least 2 inches smaller. This is how you track your liver fat going down without needing any medical equipment. Here is something most people do not know. People with liver damage usually do not die of liver failure. They die of a heart attack or a stroke. Why? Because the same refined carbohydrates and sugars causing inflammation in the liver are doing the exact same thing to your arteries throughout the entire body. As you follow this plan, you may also notice that high blood pressure starts coming down, cholesterol begins to balance out, fatigue lifts, and if you have sleep apnea, that improves too. Now, let me walk you through 4 studies that back all of this up. Study 1. Liver fat began to drop in just 2 days by simply restricting carbohydrates. 2 days. Study 2. UCSF researchers took 41 children with fatty liver and kept their total calories exactly the same. Not less, not more. The only thing they changed was swapping fructose for starch. 9 days later, an MRI showed liver fat had dropped by almost 50%. So, please, do not let your children drink juice. Soda with high fructose corn syrup is obvious, but juice is not much better. Both are loaded with fructose. Study 3. A study following over 200,000 adults found that people who drink coffee had a 46% lower risk of dying from chronic liver disease. That is remarkable. It is the polyphenols, the plant-based anti-inflammatory compounds in coffee that protect the liver. Just do not add sugar. A little cream is fine. Organic coffee is even better since conventional coffee tends to carry pesticide residue. Study 4. Penn State researchers analyzed 14 different studies covering over 550 patients, all with MRI-confirmed fatty liver. They found that regular walking reduced liver fat by 30% on average without any significant weight loss. Walking alone improves liver function. That is how powerful movement is. So here is exactly what you do to drop fat off your liver fast. Number 1. Cut your carbohydrates, especially bringing your fructose intake to 0. Getting your total carbs below 20 grams per day is the single most powerful thing you can do. No juice, no soda, no sugary snacks, no high fructose processed foods. Number 2. Eat 3 whole eggs a day, ideally as your first meal at lunch rather than breakfast. Egg yolks are rich in choline, a nutrient that actively accelerates the removal of fat from the liver. Aim for only 2 meals a day with no snacking in between. This speeds up the entire process significantly. Number 3. 1 coffee a day, black or with a little cream, no sugar. Let the polyphenols do their work. Number 4. A 20-minute walk every single day. No gym required, no special equipment, just walk. That is your plan. 4 simple steps. Reduce the carbs, eat your eggs, have your coffee, and walk. Do this consistently for 6 days and measure your waist again. The results will speak for themselves. If this video helped you, please hit the like button and subscribe to Health Mile. It helps this information reach the people who